I just walked into the show to sit down, and you guys are arguing about a lot of nonsense.
Welcome to Mind Over Movies, episode 10. And it's a special one because, you know, the first couple episodes we had this gentleman called West Coast Joe on, and we had a live feed all the way in California. And now this is not a hologram. This is the West Coast Joe, and he's here with us live in the Staten Island studio today. How are you, Joe? It's good. It's great
East
that
Coast
you're here.
Joe's.
Really great to see you guys.
You were supposed to be East Coast
That's right,
Joe.
I
What
was.
happened? Then you just became regular Joe?
Joe.
Joe Schmo. A lot to get to today because we've been off for about 2 weeks or so. We got a Hunger Games review. We also got some indie film reviews. I want to start with the box office from box office. Box office? What's the
Opus.
box?
Mr. Holland's
Mr. Holland's Opus with Richard Dreyfuss. So 2 weeks ago, Hunger Games Mockingjay Part 1 brings in $121 million. That's $30 million less than the previous two films. And then last week, over the Thanksgiving break, which was very, very bad, by the way. Not my Thanksgiving. My Thanksgiving was very good. But was yours good, Joe? Did you have a little turkey?
It was fine.
I feel like one year you would try a tofu turkey.
Are
Would you
vegan?
try the tofu turkey?
What?
I don't know. I just feel like
Joe,
you
you
remember that
vegan?
Friends
Like,
episode where they had the
no.
tofu turkey? Was that Friends or Everybody Loves Raymond?
No, that definitely wasn't Friends.
I think it was Everybody
will
Loves
tell you
Raymond.
right now that they never once.
Oh,
tried
it was
doing
Everybody
that
Loves
on
Raymond.
Friends.
Deborah makes the tofu
Yeah,
turkey
yeah,
one
yeah.
year.
No, I'm a total carnivore.
Nice,
I'm
nice,
not
nice.
about to.
That's-
No.
That's what I like to hear. So Thanksgiving break, the weekend box office, Hunger Games brought in $56 million. The newest release was Penguins of Madagascar with $25 million, and Horrible Bosses 2, which had a $42 million budget, only brought in $15 million over 5 days from Wednesday to Sunday. Horrible Bosses 2. We'll start with that. Joe, did you see this film? I know you haven't been. You've been traveling a lot.
The first one.
Okay.
And I loved it.
Joe, we
Really funny.
got to see this film. Me
I
and
liked
you.
it.
I liked it too. Did you
liked
like it better than the first one?
That's it. What I liked about it. I like that they didn't keep like a similar plot to the last,
Right.
the last movie. Like how as Hangover 2 was the same plot as Hangover 1, pretty much.
Exactly.
They went completely different in a different direction. I like that. I didn't want the same plot, so I think they did a good job with it.
Kevin Spacey, to me, did a fantastic job in Horrible Bosses 1. Well, I mean, he's just one of my favorites in general, but he was hysterical in 1. And and Aniston, her scene in this that key scene was hysterical. But
She was
again,
my favorite
a little bit
character.
less screen time for her, a little bit less screen time, even, missing somebody like Colin Farrell.
No Colin Farrell.
But I still like this film a lot. I laughed a lot. I think the first one is better, but I think the second one is this crazy thing that you said before. Dumb and Dumber 2, people are saying, is better
Yeah, I don't know.
than Horrible Bosses 2. Guys, Dumb and Dumber 2 is a piece of garbage.
Yeah, it was
This is
bad.
not even, this shouldn't even be considered a film. And I forgot to say hello to you today. How are you?
What just happened? I'm here.
What happened? How was your Thanksgiving?
I had a turducken.
What is that? What is it? What's a
Ooh.
turducken?
So it's a.
I feel like you guys,
it's
everybody
a-
knows this, but not but me.
Turducken?
It's a what is it? A duck
It's,
stuffed with a
I
chicken
think it's
into
a chicken
turkey?
in a duck
A
and a
chicken
turkey.
in a dirk.
A chicken in a dirk?
Chicken in a
a
dirk.
duck in a turkey.
So there's a turkey, a giant turkey, and you
Yes.
stuff it with what?
You stuff the
You
duck.
put a duck in. Well,
Then you
first,
stuff the
no,
chicken.
it's like you start by putting the chicken in the duck, and then you put the duck
Duck
in the
under-
turkey.
Wow, that sounds phenomenal. It
I've-
stinks that we only do turkey like one time a year.
You gotta stop chewing
No,
on
no,
it.
like
I'm
I
holding
think
it.
it's pretty appropriate.
Yes,
Like
I'm
the
chewing
more,
on the mic.
honestly, I was during the actual meal, I was like, I'm really glad that we only eat this
Eat-
stuff
only
once
eat
a year, because I would be in food comas every
Yeah,
night.
seriously.
Like every night, if
I
I
mean-
could get away with having things like streaming casserole every single
Right.
day, I would.
A turducken. I got to try that next year.
It was
I think I'm
good.
gonna make that.
A
Bring
little-
me
a
some.
A little pricey,
Yeah.
like $76.
Well, just
Yeah,
a
but it's
little pricey.
Thanksgiving. It's Thanksgiving. All right, let's go into something. Over the past 2 weeks, so many great trailers have been released, or teasers, or whatever you want to call them. I'll start with the one that was released the day before Thanksgiving, and that is probably my most anticipated film of this coming summer season. That's Jurassic World, the next chapter of Jurassic Park. They're revisiting. First thoughts, first looks on this. That looks like a look of excitement for Jurassic World.
I love Jurassic Park. That was the video. I grew up with that tape. I would just, oh my god,
Yeah,
it was the
the
most
best.
frequently watched non-cartoon movie in our house.
Chris Pratt's on fire, man.
Yeah, he's. I knew 6 years ago when I was just getting into Parks and Recreation. I was like, this guy's
so
gonna be a movie
funny.
star one
He's
day.
so
like I
funny,
just
Parks
knew
and
it.
Rec.
I knew it looking at him, even just like adorable, chubby Chris Pratt. I was like, yeah, he's gonna be a movie star one
Parks
day.
and Rec
Right.
is so underrated. It's not even funny. It's
a
such
good-
an
which one?
underrated show. Parks and Rec. It's
Oh,
such
yeah.
an underrated show.
Well, I wouldn't say it's underrated.
It's
I
the same
mean, it's
producer as,
a
The
critical
Office.
darling, you know.
Yeah, it's great, man.
But except that NBC, I think they're kind of burning the fans a little bit
Yeah.
with the
Yeah.
way that they're giving us the last season. It's
Yeah.
kind of
Well, I think Amy Poehler
punch in the
I
face.
think Amy Poehler has too much going on right now.
no. In the way that they're distributing it, it's
Oh,
kind of a punch in the face. Is that they're doing it in they're switching the day to Tuesdays,
Oh.
and they're doing it 2 episodes at a time.
As long as they don't put it to
Really?
Fridays, because that's just
Like-
you'll
No,
never
no,
do
well, I
good.
mean,
You'll
like,
never get
we're-
out of there.
Well, I mean, the show's over after this anyway.
Right.
Like, this is the final season, period. But it's in that last season, you're all of a sudden gonna switch
Right, switch.
the night.
We went from
How many-
Jurassic World to Parks and Rec.
Yeah.
quickly.
How many
Yeah,
how
well,
many
Chris
seasons
Pratt.
has how many seasons has it been so far? Parks
This
and
will be
Rec?
its 7th
Seven?
season.
Wow. So Jurassic World, the park is open. We have this kind of modern park where
gotta
now
stop chewing like that.
tourists are able to go to the park and see these dinosaurs, and obviously something is about to go wrong. And it's up to Chris Pratt and Bryce Dallas Howard, it seems, to save the day. And we do have some children in there as well. Anthony, yes.
Remember we went out to lunch the other day.
We
had
did.
this argument. Well, my question to you, being the Jurassic Park or World fan, why does something always go wrong?
Because that's
Why-
the story.
Because we believe we can harness nature and we can't.
It's true. Exactly. There you go. There's the answer.
We believe that man has power over nature and we don't.
Who put that woman in charge?
Who?
That,
What woman?
that ultimately made this clone. That's
Oh,
going
right,
to
because she
destroy the
decided
park.
to make this
No,
hybrid
I think-
dinosaur.
I don't think it was singularly her decision.
Well,
I think
the
it's
trailer-
And like, what are you doing right now? You got a Dr. Pepper. You got everything set up
She's a
right now. You're
mess.
chewing live on
a
air.
mess over there.
I'm watching my fantasies.
You- I mean, what are you doing?
I am
You-
not, I am not
are we
here.
even recording?
We might be. I'm not here right now.
Jurassic World looks fantastic. I love the slow piano at the
I
end.
really like the making it look like a Shamu show.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
Like the
Yes.
whole, and it's
Very
eating a great
SeaWorld.
white shark.
What's that
Absolutely.
dinosaur called again? That
And
big
I
one?
can't even.
I don't
And
remember.
would you
I
go
was
to
huge.
Jurassic World?
I would.
No. If this was real life.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
But what if something went wrong?
I mean,
I'd probably die, but at least I got to see a friggin' dinosaur
yeah,
before I
seriously.
died.
I would go Jurassic World before I went to Willy Wonka's factory.
Absolutely. I agree.
Why would you
I
do that? That
agree.
makes no sense.
Because he's a creepy guy who never came out of his house.
No. Wait, no. I agree, but for a different reason.
Why?
Because I feel like the chances of fucking up
Right.
at Willy Wonka's factory it's really easy
Right,
to
right,
break
right.
his
There's
rules
so
without
many
realizing
rules.
you're breaking his rules. Like it Jurassic World, it's like, there's probably signs everywhere.
Right,
because
right,
it's a
right.
theme park, so
Don't touch
you know,
this.
like,
don't touch
leave
the
it at-
wire.
Exactly.
Don't smell like meat.
Yeah. No open cuts. Let's keep everything,
I like the thing with like the bubble orbs, like
Yeah.
going around on the
Yeah,
and the
water.
motorcycle,
Like, that
really
looked
cool.
really cool.
Really looks great. You could tell that Pratt is channeling, Dr. Grant. You could tell a lot of things are going to go. I
wanna-
really feel like this is the right way to go.
I
From
do
what
have
I've
an
seen,
objection.
from what I've read.
I have an objection to
Okay,
this trailer.
what's your
Just one.
objection? One objection.
There was not enough of Chris Pratt without a shirt on. That's my absolute no. I was not
you
okay
think,
with that.
from what I've heard, there is not that much of the movie doesn't have that
I'm
much
gonna
with
be
Chris
very
Pratt
upset.
with his shirt off.
I'm gonna
Is he in
need
good shape?
to.
I don't remember.
He's in
Are
fantastic
you kidding me?
shape.
Did you not see?
Did you see
Guardians of
this
the
picture?
Galaxy?
I
This
did,
is-
but he goes on and off. With,
No,
No. This was the only time he went on. Like
Oh, okay.
like he's always been
in
like a
her,
huskier
he was,
guy.
In her, he was husky too.
Well, that was probably
That's right.
like filmed a while,
2000.
a while ago.
We still have to talk about some more trailers, including the new Star Wars trailer, but we'll have to do that when we come back from our first break, because I'm getting yelled at from my
Breaks.
engineer and from Alex.
Well, you're the producer, damn it.
I know, but I can't do everything. If they say go to a break, we're going to go to a break. Welcome back to Mind Over Movies, episode 10. We got West Coast Joe in studio, all the way from 6,000 miles away. He came just to be on the show.
It's
You believe that?
It's like
He's got to fly.
3,000.
Well, it's
He flew
round
in 20
trip.
minutes ago. He's got to fly out after the show. I can't believe
Well,
that.
you-
what people
you
do for
paid
Mind
for
Over
it.
Movies. That's true. I did. It's all on us.
I mean, yeah, you feel me here on your chat.
Yeah,
man.
just don't cash that check for a while. So I want to go touch on two more trailers. The one that's generated the most buzz over the past week, and that is the new Star Wars: The Force Awakens trailer. Again, first thoughts on this, Joe. I'll start with you.
I came out of the womb being a Star Wars fan.
That's true. I think
So,
I know I
Your parents
did.
are big Star Wars fans?
oh yes.
Really?
My aunt is even bigger of a Star Wars fan. She had the laser discs.
Wow.
Like that was the
Those are legit.
That was actually the first cut I'd ever seen. Of it.
I've been
So
trying to
actually,
find
the first
those.
time I'd ever seen it was before George Lucas decided to go back.
Right,
in
right,
and
right, right,
Had
right.
100
What
million
sucks
monsters.
is that this
Well,
comes out a
wait,
year prior
what's-
to the release.
What's worth more, the original VHS or the Laserdisc?
the laser
The
discs.
Laserdisc are a
Really?
lot
I
more
believe the Laserdisc.
expensive.
Really?
Yeah,
Really?
I've been looking for the
Because I have
Laserdisc
the
for a while.
VHS. I have all the VHS.
If anybody has
And
a
here's the thing,
Laserdisc,
she
just
knows
let
how
me know.
much
I
they're
will
worth,
pay.
and she won't sell them.
Well, you
She
know.
won't sell them.
It's nostalgia. It's just-
Yeah, she never will. I don't think.
How cool is that little robot, the little rolling robot?
Yeah, yeah.
That looks awesome.
Love this
R2D2 on
trailer.
the soccer ball.
I love this trailer. There was I just you get so much nostalgia in it. What
You
is
know,
your favorite one?
It's Empire.
yeah. Wait, hey.
Empire's
Evidenced by the
fantastic.
sweater.
Yeah, yeah. Empire's. I mean,
Empire's-
it's one of the best
But
films
and
ever
as,
made.
and as much as I hate like the prequels, which is a lot,
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll watch them once in a while because I think there are a few redeeming
Jar Jar
qualities in
Binks.
them. Like I think, like it's funny that you mentioned Attack of the
Wait a
Clones.
second. I'm sorry, Joe.
I know,
Listen,
I was
I've
just
heard a
gonna let
lot
him
of
get away with
impressions of
that.
Jar Jar. I've heard
was
a
just-
lot of impressions of Jar Jar. What Joe just went.
Wait.
I said his name.
I know. I thought he
I
was
said his
doing
name in my
Yoda.
voice.
I thought that was Yoda.
He went Jar Jar Binks. That is not right at all. That is not right at Jar Jar Binks. I don't even know what that was. Oh
I was
man.
gonna say it's funny that you mentioned Attack of the Clones because I think out of all three of them I enjoy that one
Yeah,
the most
I agree.
because I love all the Galactic Senate stuff. I think that's like some of the most gripping dialogue in
Look,
Star
there's
Wars.
even
and-
parts of Phantom Menace that are very good. You know, I think the
I mean,
ending.
it's
I think
good.
the
It's
ending
good
battle with
despite the
Darth
bold
Maul.
statement.
I think
Look,
the ending
no,
part
it's good
battle.
despite that pod race.
Thank you. It's
check
30
out
minutes
for,
of
for
too
30
long
for
for the
a half
pod
hour.
race.
You could just fast forward to that part.
It's ridiculous. It's 30 minutes too
Yeah, but
long.
then at the
It's
same
a
time,
pod
it can
race
also, like,
everywhere
you
we
know,
go. Let's crash into
do
this.
something.
Let's do this. Oh, Misa, and this everyone's going over here.
They did confirm in the Star Wars trailer the voice is Andy Serkis. in the trailer.
Right? Yes, they did. They confirmed that the voice was Andy Serkis, which I guess is going to be the new Sith Lord. I would think.
Yeah.
Which one, Adam
Uh,
Driver or Oscar?
No,
I love.
Serkis.
First of all, I love
Serkis.
this cast.
I
This
know.
cast is fantastic.
Andy
Oscar
Serkis,
Isaac.
they confirmed his voice.
Adam
was-
Oh yeah,
Driver.
we know that he's, but
Yeah.
we know Oscar Isaac is going to be. I'm pretty sure I read somewhere that he was going to be a villain as well.
Right. I would
Oscar
hope so.
Isaac.
He
I
would
hope
be.
so.
He would
He's-
make a great villain.
Is not that great of a movie as Sucker Punch is, even though I love it a lot. It's
Right.
just, it's not a good movie, and I'll admit that. But I like it. He's really like creepy in that.
Yeah.
Like he really unsettled.
And
me
there's
in
this
that.
new film that he's going to be Oscar Isaac that's getting a lot of Oscar talk. It's Oscar talk. Oscar Isaac. Get that? You get that here, folks?
Jason Isaacs.
It's called The Most Violent Year. I forget who it's co-starring. It's about this relationship between a husband and a wife, and it's getting a lot of Oscar buzz. So make sure
It's
if you guys
during what was
get a
on
chance.
record as the most the year with the most violent crime.
Right.
on
The most
record.
violent crime. So the Star Wars trailer, it looks great. A lot of nostalgia. From a director's standpoint, a lot of people from the beginning did not like the choice of J.J. Abrams taking this over. I love this idea. And how many people in their life can say that they were able to reboot a Star Trek
Wars
and
and
Star
Star
Wars?
Yeah.
Who can say that in their
Well,
life?
see, now
and they're the protege of Steven
And
Spielberg.
also, who else
That's
can
my
say that?
dream,
Not
man.
only that, but he also changed the face of television.
Absolutely,
forever.
I totally agree
Well,
with you.
Trekkies-
Yeah,
I
but-
totally agree with you.
But Joe,
What are you doing,
I
man?
had to check this. I had to check the
Trekkies,
scores.
Trekkies and Star Wars fans are fighting.
No,
because
but
of
Joe-
it.
Let them
Joe
fight.
says-
I don't care.
Joe says George Lucas is a fantastic director.
What? No, I didn't.
Lucas is not a good director.
You
he
get
knows that.
150% out of
Yeah,
here.
he knows that he's not. He knows that he's not. He's not. I mean, the first three Star Wars were directed by different people. And
No,
no,
first
I'm
one-
sorry.
no,
The first
no,
one
the
was
first one
Lucas.
is
I'm
George
sorry.
Lucas.
The first
The
one's
only
Lucas.
one that's not been directed by him in the original was Empire.
Right, Empire. What six
Which-
was it?
which-
Which
which was
six
the
was?
best
Which is
one.
the best
Oh, he
one.
directed Jedi too?
No,
I-
Jedi.
did
Was,
he?
Jedi
I don't
wasn't.
know.
No,
Jedi
somebody
wasn't.
else.
They
Look it up
wanted
there.
they wanted Spielberg to direct it, but there was a problem with the Directors Guild that Spielberg's name wasn't going to be first, so he wasn't able to direct one of his best friends. Friends movies that he had, and I think instead he made one of the second Indiana Jones. They made those together.
Oh, great.
So love this
Because we all
trailer. I
need
love
a
everything
Temple of
about it.
Doom.
I remember Kevin Smith saying back in like in a video that I was watching a while ago is that he was able to visit the Star Wars set and it was so tactile. Everything was real. Like there was a real Millennium Falcon, and I love that J.J. Abrams tries not to use CGI as much. That really helps acting. That really helps the set, and it goes a long way.
Are there going to be blue streaks?
That's one thing. I hope there's
What, lens
puppets in
flares?
this, you know?
Lens
No,
I
no,
do,
no,
I
there
hope
is,
so.
there
There
is.
is.
Like
Oh, there
there
is?
is. Like he's confirmed that there is
Right.
going to be
Okay,
like it's
good.
all puppet. There's going to be a lot of
But
puppetry.
what a career for Abrams. I mean, he's really only getting started. I had the opportunity to just smell him one time in an elevator, and I wish I had.
Wait, did you go?
I listen, when I worked for Opie and Anthony, I had the opportunity to see a lot of celebrities and a lot of people I went up to, like Stanley Tucci and Hulk Hogan and Kevin Smith, and I was able to talk to them and get pictures with them. But then there were people and I'm talking like Maura Tierney.
I have to
You know
pick
Maura
up some of
Tierney?
these names off the floor. Hold on.
Sorry for the name dropping. But like some people, I would literally wait till they left the show and then follow them into the elevator and just sit in the elevator with them.
Just to be in their
And the
presence.
most enjoyable
I did that
time
one
in an
time with
elevator
Carson
that I
Daly.
ever had in my life was getting in the
Why?
elevator with J.J. Abrams and just like smelling his aroma and just being in there with literally, I mean, I'm talking my top five
did
directors
he smell
of all
like
time.
a fresh meadow?
Oh, he really did,
On
Joe.
If they,
Spring
see, if they
day.
were to remake Back to the Future, I would hope that Abrams.
Oh, I would hope so too.
Oh,
and,
but
and
let's please not though. Like though.
But you know, eventually it's gonna
But
get
who?
done.
But
gonna
wait, wait, wait,
eventually
wait.
get redone.
Before
It is
we-
gonna eventually
before
get
we-
redone.
Before we say that, I want to see who's your cast for McFly and Doc Brown. We'll think about that after the break. After the break, we're coming back with fan casting of Doc Brown and Marty McFly, and then we'll get into the rest of the show because we have so much to do. See you later. Welcome back to Mind Over Movies. We had some time to think about who we would put in as the role of Marty McFly and Doc Brown in a remake of Back to the Future if they were to do it. This is not breaking news. If they were to do it, so one of you, give me a Doc Brown or a Marty McFly. What would you think?
Well, we said that a good Marty McFly would be Dave Franco.
Yeah,
I
think
agree
he'd
with
be
that.
Really, really
I agree with
cool.
that very
And,
much.
It'd be really fun.
For Doc Brown, we could either go Christoph Waltz or Michael Richards.
Okay, my
I like
choice.
I think Michael Richards is like the fun choice, but I
Yeah.
think a realistic choice is Christoph Waltz.
I remember
If you
doing.
want to
I
have
remember
the
talking to
physical
Joe about
features.
this one time, and he disagreed with my choice for Doc Brown. But I would put Jeff Goldblum as Doc Brown.
Ooh,
I'm
that's
sorry, but
fun.
that's what I would do.
That could be fun.
Nice and tall, get him a little
I
crazy
don't know,
hair
he
like
might
he used
end
to.
up
Give him a
Goldbluming
perm.
all over the place and like.
Goldblum.
Yeah,
all
he's
over.
too cold.
I mean, I've met Jeff Goldblum and he's a very like that's not that,
Yeah, that's him.
very real. Like
Right.
Goldbluming is a very real thing. He really. I was like 14 and I was just like, oh man, I'm a big fan of The Big Chill. And he's like,
Thank you.
you've seen The Big Chill? How old are you? I'm 14.
love
You haven't seen The Big Chill. He was very, very
Cold
adamant
War.
about telling me that I had not seen The Big Chill
Right.
at 14.
Hunger Games, you can check out our website, welikefilm.com, and you can see my review of Hunger Games. But Joe, what's your thoughts on Hunger Games as compared to the past two movies? I want to do this one quick so we can get on to more
I
stuff.
liked it, but I felt like, obviously, I think I like the second one a little bit better than the first one, and I like the second one a little bit better than this one. But I felt like I was going up a roller coaster and just stopped.
Well, that's the problem with these movies where they split them
it's
up.
two-party. It's,
Right,
you know,
they
it doesn't
split
have
up
to be
these
two-part,
movies,
but
like
Hollywood reasons.
Without doing any spoilers, like where did they like cut it?
Have you read the book?
Yes.
Oh, you have?
Yes. So I'm just like curious as to like
Okay.
like did they go
Wait,
to the place?
if you've read the book, no.
Joe,
If you've read the
no,
book,
okay.
No.
if you've read the book, it's when Peeta and
When
her
Peter-
reunite.
When Peter,
Oh, okay.
For the
Okay.
first time.
So okay.
That's when they cut.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow. Ooh. That's a very bold
And then it's
place
like-
to
and then it's
to
like,
end
what the
that.
hell? So what the hell just happened? Everybody's looking around like, what just happened?
That's the problem with splitting up these
I think
movies.
it's gonna-
I'm generally a fan of it because you want more out of a franchise like Deathly Hallows. I was excited
just about
for
to
when
say,
they
like,
split
that was
that
a
up.
really-
Part one is never gonna measure up to part.
It's
two.
never going
That's
to.
not true. That's not true.
But
Well, Harry Potter.
Deathly Hallows Part 1 is much.
Well, it's two completely different
not
movies.
good.
No,
No,
they're
they
two
are.
completely
They are
different
completely
movies.
different movies.
The first one is like is a chase-em movie.
Absolutely, I
it's a
agree.
runaway movie, and it's
It's
a
50 minutes.
fantastic
It's 50
runaway
minutes
movie.
into the woods.
And but you know, by the time there's a beginning, middle, and end to it.
I agree
But
with
nothing
that.
resolves, though. You don't get
Yes,
it.
yeah. Well, I mean, in it, well, they
You get a
resolve it in the
small, you get a
sense
small
that
resolve, but
they
not the big one you're
they
looking
save, They do a small act of. They do like the small act of good deed of like getting out of Malfoy Manor,
Right.
and Dobby dies, and it's like really depressing.
Spoiler alert!
Oh, come on!
If you haven't seen Deathly Hallows
it's
Part 2,
2014.
I mean, when did that come out? 3 years ago? Wake up.
It's 2014, people, and the book came out in 2007.
Yeah,
so
I
you
liked
should
Hunger
by
Games.
now know.
Yes, you go into it knowing, hey, it's going to be a part 1 and then there's going to be a part 2, and you know you have to. This guy, he saw it too. I think, right?
I saw the movie.
You saw a movie in the movie theaters.
I went on a date.
Oh my god!
Oh,
wonder
that's
why.
nice.
But well, actually, I might have went.
Do you
by
have to
myself.
pour your Dr. Pepper while you're reviewing the film?
How heavy was she?
So,
How
what did you
heavy
think
was
about this?
she?
Because you're not saying.
I'm gonna give you my whole review on it.
All right, I don't need a whole review. I need a short review because I got to move on.
It was pretty good.
Thank you.
That's
whole
that's
review.
really good.
That's the whole
That's a
review.
great
All right.
review.
All right,
It's pretty good.
A couple of things in the news, but I want to just touch on one film because we've had such a horrible year in horror movies.
That's not true.
Besides
good.
besides As Above, So Below, which I liked.
Okay, that I disagree.
I liked it
You didn't
too.
like As Above,
I
So
did
Below?
not.
What did you like this
I
year?
liked it.
What did I like this year?
Annabelle was not good.
Annabelle's terrible.
That was the most anticipated horror film
That
this
was
year.
terrible.
Do you
Take
think
it-
it was a good year in horror films?
I think for indie horror film.
I totally agree with you on that. I
because
agree with
I
you.
really
But mainstream U.S. horror films that come out in nationwide, 3,000 more than box office. We're talking about Deliver Us from Evil, which was not good.
I didn't hate it, but that's also because I like Joel McHale a lot, and
Oh,
it's
yeah,
really
yeah.
hard.
He
for
was
me
good
to,
in
like,
that.
hate
He was
things,
very
like,
good
with
in
him
that.
it.
I like McHale in that. But one that we have to talk about as far as indie horror films, one that's really and I love saying the name of it. It's called The Babadook.
The Babadook. I
Australian
need to bring one
Australian
up, too.
film. Not a famous director. Actually, this is really her only second film. Jennifer Kent.
What was her first one?
It's called Monster. I think it was a short film or
It's called
something.
Babadook.
Essie Davis, who's been in a couple of things here and there, but it's an Australian film, $2 million budget, indie film, made a nice uproar in Sundance, has been winning a lot of awards, and this movie was impressively scary for me. It was a psychological horror movie that had no jump scares, you know, and when I say a jump scare, I mean those moments where high tension music matches like a face, or you know, like you go to the fridge and you close the fridge and then the music goes. There was none of that in this film.
Wes Craven once said that if you shut the audio off of a horror movie, you'll
I
won't be
totally
scared at
agree
all.
with that.
I
I remember
you won't get
you
scared from
saying
jump
that.
scares.
I think
at
it
all.
depends. Well, I think actually like that does ring true. I think for 98% of
Right.
horror movies, but I think that there are a couple of exceptions to the because there's
Right,
always
some
exceptions
people
to the
handle
rule.
jump scares very well. This movie did not really have jump scares. It didn't
Well, no, I
have
meant in the
those.
sense of like not like if you cut the sound out of a
Right,
horror
right,
film,
right.
like you know those there are some amazing like because I consider like No Country for Old Men. I consider that a hidden horror movie.
I agree with that. I could agree with that.
I like hidden genre stuff. Like I think Breaking Bad is hidden genre. Because it's basically the story of The Fly to me.
And we were
That's-
talking about
what I
we were
look at
talking
Breaking
about
Bad
The
as.
Village before.
Oh, yeah, we were talking about
people
The
see it
Village.
as this thriller, you know,
And
kind of
it's not,
horror
it's a
movie.
romance
It's a
movie.
romance movie.
If
It
you
is.
go into that watching that as a dramatic romance movie, it's actually really
Yeah.
really well done and really sweet.
Edward Scissorhands also is a hidden genre.
Yes. Well, I want
Eh.
to say it's
Let-
hidden. That's kind of like right there in your
Yeah, I
face.
guess so. Yeah.
Let me get back to The Babadook. It's a brilliantly made film. It's available on iTunes and Amazon to rent. It's going to go under the radar in independent theater in theaters in general. I think it's only showing in one theater in New York and maybe a couple in LA.
Yeah,
so
I saw it at the Silent
it's
Movie
it's
Theater in
because
LA.
there's no distribution from a film that's in Australia. People don't see the reason to bring an Australian-made film with no stars and all this to it. But meanwhile, this film is really, really well done. So I would check it out if you're in for a good scare. There's this closet over there that resembles exactly the one in the movie. I was
Viewers beware.
scared the whole night. I was
Viewers
scared.
beware. You're in for a scare.
If you're looking for an overpowering, scary movie, I don't know if it does that, but I think it still succeeds as a very, very scary psychological horror movie.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
and I liked it.
I know you want to bring up Babadook. I just wanted to bring up one quick horror film. Check out on Netflix. It's called The Taking of Deborah Logan.
The Taking of Deborah Logan.
Yes, I absolutely. I wouldn't say I loved it. I really, really liked this.
Is this a exorcism movie? What is it?
No. Oh, yes and no. Well, what it is, it's found footage.
Okay,
but
love
it's
those.
it's not. it's a justified found footage movie. Like it's about a student making a thesis film about the effects of Alzheimer's disease.
Right.
So it's this woman and her daughter.
It's not everyone's dying. Why is the camera still rolling?
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
not one of
and
those.
Any big actors or
what?
Any big actors or
No.
no?
Maybe. I mean, there's a recognizable character actress that plays I can't remember. It's Anne something. She plays the daughter of Deborah, the woman with Alzheimer's. So it's like they volunteer, like, oh yeah, come and film us, and then the crew takes care of the expenses, the medical expenses. Anyway, but what we think is Alzheimer's. Eventually, it comes down. I don't want to spoil it, but it's much where it's not your average possession movie.
Well, you told us to see Snowpiercer, and apparently they like that. Tusk was another one that you liked, so that was 2 for 2. Joe, let's get to some news before we wrap up our show here today.
Right.
Let's get some quick news.
All right, so start with superhero news. There's the first look at the Vision from the Avengers promo. We got some promotional art.
Who's playing
right
him?
here?
Who's playing him?
Oh, I got one of those.
Paul Bettany.
Right here, Paul Bettany.
Oh yeah, that's right, because he's the
for the
voice
Vision.
of Jarvis.
Yep. The synopsis for the Fantastic Four, the remake, was released. And supposedly it's. I mean,
Wow.
All right, so
what happened?
what do you? Come on,
going on
go ahead.
4 young outsiders who teleport to an alternate and dangerous universe which alters their physical form in shocking ways. Must learn to harness their abilities and work together to save Earth from a former friend turned enemy.
Now, does this tie in with
AKA
any
Doom.
version of the lore?
I don't think so.
Oh my god!
I don't think they ever left.
What else we got?
I was gonna say.
The
I know.
Mom?
In the in like the
I don't like
recent run of
Mom.
Fantastic Four in the comic books, like they go like they're traveling through different dimensions.
Yeah, I
but
don't know,
that's
but-
already like they're already
Yeah.
the Fantastic Four and they have
right.
kids.
Yeah, that's not how it happens at the beginning. But Suicide Squad, the cast was announced: Will Smith's Deadshot, Tom Hardy as Rick Flag, Margot Robbie as Harley Quinn,
Woo!
Jai Courtney,
Oh my god.
Say
Is-
Tom Hardy as Rick Flair.
Rick Flag, Jai Courtney as
him.
Boomerang, and Cara I can't say
Did you bring up?
Delevingne as the Enchantress.
Adele
Did
Dazeem.
you
Who's
bring
gonna
up the
be-
most
Adele
important one?
Dazeem.
Who?
Did you bring up Jared? I didn't hear.
Jared Leto.
And Jared Leto's Joker.
Yeah, I think he
That's
broke
That's the
that.
most. I think I don't think the movie's gonna be that great because DC has a bad track record.
Right.
But
Yeah.
I think that Jared Leto's the best possible choice.
I
He's a-
disagree. I think it's going to be good because who knows directing it? The guy from last week,
David Ayer.
Day, who directed.
Oh,
what,
okay.
What did he direct? Gone Girl. No.
No.
That's Fincher.
What did David Ayer direct? He
don't
directed
know.
something recently that we saw. That was,
What else
that
you
was
got
excellent.
there? Well, I find out who David Ayer is.
All right, so-
I know him. I just don't.
Disney Cinderella gets released March 13th,
Word.
2015, and the release
That looks great.
Frozen Fever. It's a short. It's going to be
So
aired-
Frozen short before that. Oh, he
yeah.
directed Training Day, Fury, and then
Oh, Fury.
I think it's going to be a really brutal movie, very gruesome.
I think it could be, but I'm not gonna like get my hopes up for it because DC has really let me down
Right.
so many times
Yeah.
that I'm just gonna,
And by the time this airs, there'll be a title and cast release
Terminator.
for the Bond. For the Bond.
Oh, for the Bond film.
Oh.
I'll cut
Maisie
this- I'll
Williams
cut
from
this
Game
off.
of Thrones is going to be
love
in
her.
Last of Us. She's confirmed.
I'm
it
sorry,
pretty much.
what?
Maisie Williams is going to be in The Last of Us, based on the video game. Yeah, that was just confirmed. Source Code's getting a sequel after Gyllenhaal's hot start, and
Whoa.
Independence
I
Day
like Source
2.
Code.
Independence Day 2 was greenlit. Natalie Portman's going to be in the Jobs biopic with Fassbender.
Oh, good.
And
That's cool.
James Cameron.
Did they close in on
I think
Seth
this is-
Rogen yet? I really don't like this
To play
casting
Waz?
choice.
I
don't like it.
that.
Yeah,
I don't
he's
like it.
confirmed. He's confirmed. And also, James,
I don't like Rogen going against Fassbender in this film. I just
James-
feel like the director who's directing this now, Boyle. I feel
Yes.
like Boyle, who I
But
enjoy.
then isn't Sorkin writing the script?
Yes, and we all know Sorkin is the best
So it's
thing
gonna be
God has
great.
ever
So
given us.
you
But
really
I don't know. I don't like Rogen as this.
This was funny. I think James Cameron was talking about Avatar 2, 3, and 4,
Yeah.
and he says they're gonna be bitching.
That's a quote from James Cameron. I can't.
And that's a quote.
They're
It's an
gonna be
authentic quote.
bitching.
Authentic
House of
quote.
Cards, February 27th. Very excited about
Yeah,
that.
your Valentine's days
Uh,
aren't going to be ruined this
that's
year.
right.
So
From
no,
50 Shades of
so
Grey.
no
50 Shades
angry,
of Grey,
no angry girlfriends. You're going to have a lot of
And I'm sure
experimenting girlfriends.
And I'm
that
pretty sure
night.
Gone Girl will be released on DVD
Sometime around
somewhere
then.
around
So you're going to
Valentine's
have a lot of
Day.
scorned girlfriends around then.
Speaking of women, of female in films, a couple of films to look for as the best actress starts to get talked about for the Oscar season. Cake with Jennifer Aniston, Wild with Reese Witherspoon, Still Alice with Julianne Moore, and I definitely think what's her name, Rosamund Pike.
Yes.
I definitely think she's going to get an Oscar nod for this.
She is.
With that, we really need to stop our show because Alex is yelling at me, and I really don't like when he does that. And Ant, did you see a film before we wrap up? Did you see a film this past week?
You know, I can't even make one up.
What do you mean? Is that usually what you do? You usually make them up?
No. But like, I'm like, I didn't watch a film. Should I just make one up?
He saw Jingle All the Way too.
Okay, I'll give him. I'll make up for one. Go watch the A Fantastic Fear of Everything on Netflix.
A Fantastic Fear of
It
Everything.
doesn't count
That's
because
Simon
it
Pegg.
has to
Watch
be
it.
a film in the 80s that was terrible. Post-apocalyptic.
I'm
usually.
pissed that they make Jingle All the Way too.
I was about to say Maximum Overdrive.
We'll
I'm like,
do
well,
that
that's
for
a really
the
good
Christmas
movie.
Joe, do you know that?
episode.
I
Joe?
really like Maximum Overdrive.
Joe, do you know
I'll
that?
check
Joe,
it
when
out.
are you leaving us? When are you leaving us?
I am
flying back
Maybe-
now.
Maybe we should get you one more show.
Maybe
on
no.
here
I'm
soon.
here.
Maybe next week
I
we can
believe
sneak you in.
my flight is next Wednesday.
Okay, we'll see. Maybe
Joe,
we can get
Jingle
Joe
All
in
the
here
Way
one more
too.
time because I love having him.
Terrible.
Special thanks
No.
to Joe.
Terrible man. It's
Special
gotta
thanks
go.
to other Joe. Special
We
thanks to
gotta
Alex. Special
go.
thanks to Ann.
We
Ann and Aunt, Joe
gotta
and Joe.
go.
See you later.
We
Mind over
gotta
business. Bye-bye.
go.